Sorry, I can't do this. I gotta fix this. A lot of new dungeon masters or aspiring dungeon masters start out worrying about the wrong skills. They start worrying about these technical skills or micro skills. And to be fair, that's what a lot of the videos targeted at new dungeon masters are focusing. Instead, you should be focusing much more on the macro, the mindset, and the reason that you're playing. The reason that you're... Sorry, I can't do this. I gotta fix this. That's better. Sometimes you just need to step outside and get a little fresh air to properly think. So as I was saying before, there's a lot of information out there and guides for new dungeon masters. These are focused more on things like how do you handle combat and travel and things like that. That's not what's going to ruin your early sessions. You should instead focus on more of the macro skills and the mindset. The first thing you should be worried about is just having fun. That is number one and takes precedent over everything else. I say this because you don't even need to know all of the rules in order to have fun. In fact, my personal journey went a little like this. Here's a very scientific graph I have of at least my perceived fun during my journey. I've talked with some of my players and they agree. At the beginning, we had so much fun and I did not know very many of the rules. I had never even played a game of D&D before I started DMing. Bought the player's handbook, read the rules, watched a couple videos on YouTube, and we just started going for it. My first few sessions, players weren't allowed to play spellcasters because I didn't make it that far in. I told them, hey, I only know how martial classes work. In a few sessions, you guys can swap to spellcasters if you want. But right now I don't know the rules for spellcasters. That was literally my approach. Let's just play and have fun. And it started off really fun. As we played a bit more, I started focusing more on these micro skills. How do we handle travel? None of my players at the time really liked travel, and so at the beginning, I just skipped it. I was like, if we don't really want to do travel, let's just skip it. Then I saw a couple videos for it. I saw some rules on how to make travel cool. Then we ran it, and it sucked. And there were a lot of things like that, investigating stuff, and I read rules on how I should handle it and advice from people. And my game started to suck because I didn't focus on what was actually fun and what my players wanted and some of these macro skills and the overarching mindset behind playing D&D and understanding what makes it fun and what my players want. And I started focusing on these micro skills and how to do this and how to do that. And my games really started becoming not fun. Some of the players almost quit. I almost quit DMing, and had I started with that, I can just about guarantee you I would not have kept playing. If you're just now starting out, maybe you've never ran a session or you've only ran a few, and your games just feel a little off, make sure fun is at the top of your priority list, and that is the primary focus when you're doing all of your prep. All of these little skills that you can focus on, like, they're cool if you can learn them, and I think that my games are better now because I have some experience and I know all of these things, but focusing on fun is the number one thing you need to make sure you're doing. Now, if you're going to start off focusing just on making sure everyone's having fun, I would also recommend running short campaigns, maybe single adventures or just a couple adventures tied together. I would not recommend running a long campaign. That's what I did at the beginning. Was I told everyone we're going to run an introduction campaign, and adventures were loosely connected. I wanted to give magic items out freely, and I didn't want to have to worry about breaking the game or causing long-term issues because they have too many magic items or anything like that. I told them short campaign, and I actually wish I would have stuck with that longer. So I would recommend keeping these shorter style campaigns as long as possible or until you're really comfortable and want to move on to the longer ones. So if you're pretty comfortable right now as a dungeon master and what you're really looking for is to focus a little bit more on some of those more technical skills, I do have some other videos, so please check them out and subscribe for more content. Thanks.